I'm Chevy the Superstar.
And I'm Toya.
And this is Two Snaps in a Circle. Give you the movie news you can use.
And the
movie review. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it's not my day.
Oh shit. Don't have Joe Jackson come here and say, know your role, know your routine.
I'm gonna say, and welcome to
and welcome to what we be doing.
Oh
what's the show called?
Help me, Lord.
Oh, we so happy y'all here with us, Brett. Oh, you don't went mute. Lord have mercy.
Once it starts, it just
it's like domino. It's like domino effect.
It's
like
downward
it just
spiral for me. Once it starts, it's over.
It's
gonna be fucking up the rest of the show.
Ooh, but I don't know if you're more messy than this damn movie that we reviewed, because Lord have mercy. Just I mean, it wasn't messy, but it was just,
but they left us with a big pile of mess.
Oh, complete pile of mess. What up, Stacy?
Hey, Stacy.
What it do? What
yeah,
up?
But I mean, I don't know. Well, after we do movie news,
we can get into it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was good, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Okay.
I'm right there with you.
All right, so I'm about to get started on movie news. It's a nice amount.
Hey.
Let me put a Ricola in my mouth first.
Get it right.
Oh man, I should have put one in my tea, like you said, Stacy. I forgot. Let me do.
That's the cheat code right there. Putting the Ricola in the tea.
I should do that right now while I'm talking. I'll take it. Ooh. Okay.
A little bit. In a minute.
All right. Okay.
You got this.
Movie news. All right. Pepper. I don't know what's going on with this dog, but okay. Pepper. It is not pepper time. It is movie news.
Right.
Pepper, go sit down, please. All right. Kendrick Lamar is teaming up with South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone for a live-action comedy.
What? Oh.
Yeah. I forgot to put that South Park comes back on February 2nd. So South Park comes back on. That's because that's just in my head.
Too. Right, yeah. You like, that's personal news. But you need to share it with the people.
But yeah, South Park's new season, which I didn't know if they were going to have a new season because the last season was so controversial.
Mm-hmm.
New season of South Park premieres on the 2nd, and I am super excited because South Park is really good.
Period.
This is exciting. The new Big Mouth spinoff, Human Resources, premieres on March 18th on Netflix.
Hey,
because that was the last season of Big Mouth, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good that they didn't leave us hanging out here.
Yeah, totally.
Because I just had got into that show, so
man, I freaking love that show.
Okay, Ricola in the tea.
Clutch.
Getting what I need.
Clutch. All right.
The Prouds are back. And the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, streaming on February 23rd on Disney Plus. And Stacy, they are coming out with some Proud Family Funko Pops.
Ooh,
I think they're gonna drop them. Toy Fair got canceled because of COVID. They probably would have dropped pictures because it was supposed to be this week, Toy Fair. But they probably would have dropped some concept art for it. I don't know how they're gonna handle that moving forward. But yeah, I did read an article that they are making some Proud Family Funko Pops. Trailer for Moon Knight, the new Marvel Studios show that premieres on Disney Plus on March 30th, came out this week, starring Oscar Isaac. And it's unfortunate that one of the people in the film actually died on Wednesday in a ski accident. And I feel like this was going to be his breakout role.
Oh my gosh.
Like he's been in a couple of movies, but he was a French been in a couple of movies that were released here, but he was a French actor. And I believe this was I think he was like a pivotal character. I don't know. None of us know who his character is.
Right, but
character, like they put out a cast list of the character list, and he was one of the main characters. So I think he was an important character to this show.
Wow.
Yeah, he passed away.
Damn,
he was involved in a skiing accident on Wednesday.
That's really sad.
Yeah. Our boy Daniel Radcliffe will be portraying Weird Al Yankovic in a biopic, The Weird Al.
That's going to be so cool. I'm so excited for that.
It's going to be on Roku. I got to check out this Roku network.
I don't even know. I've heard about that.
Yeah, that movie that's supposed to be coming out with James Franco's little brother and Alyssa Milano is coming out on there.
Okay. Well, damn. Who knew?
I wonder if you need a Roku to watch it. You know, I ain't even never been on their website.
They be trying to.
Yeah, they do. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I am now a mod in a Discord, so I have not been doing good with movie news in my stories. I found a lot of stuff today that I did not share with you guys, so I'm going to be sharing that today. On my Instagram. I was like, dang, I missed this and I missed this and I missed that. But it's all right. Now what's Stacy talking about? She got a lot. Oh, you gotta tell me what Funko Pops you got. I'll be modding, but I had to stop for a minute.
What up, Aaron?
Hey, Aaron. Okay. Animated anthology series The Boys Presents Diabolical premieres on March 4th on Amazon Prime.
All right.
Teaser trailer for Vikings Valhalla came out this week, and it'll be streaming on February 25th on Netflix. Our Flag Means Death, a show about Blackbeard the pirate, streams this March on HBO Max. Taika Waititi is playing Blackbeard the pirate. Amazon Prime dropped a title trailer for The Lord of the Rings, and it is called The Lord of the Rings. I just read that out loud. I was like,
yeah, I'm like waiting for you to finish, and I'm like,
it's like that damn. Let me go back and make sure I didn't write that wrong, because I'm like, Lord of the Rings, The Lord of the Rings, like
right. Oh, I just looked that actor up. Yeah, he played I remember him playing in Hannibal. That's all.
Yes, he did play young Hannibal in Hannibal.
Yeah, he played the young Hannibal. Yep. Damn.
Oh yeah, okay. It's Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. That's what it is. Because I was like, wait a minute.
Lord of the Rings.
And it premieres on September 2nd on Amazon Prime. Wait a second, y'all. Okay. Where am I? Star Trek Discovery has been renewed for season 5 by Paramount Plus.
Hey.
Upload has returns on March 11th for season 2 on Amazon Prime Video. I really like that show. If y'all
I'm gonna have to check it out.
I enjoy it. It's about a man who dies, and in his world, in this future, you can either die or you can do some Black Mirror shit and get your body uploaded into a metaverse where you can kind of live on forever as long as somebody put money on your books.
Got it. It sounds interesting. I really like that. I love that concept. That is my favorite. That's actually one of my favorite Black Mirror episodes.
Yes. Santa Junipero.
Yes, Santa Junipero.
Godzilla TV series is in the works. And Apple TV, they will be continuing the monster verse. All these damn verses. You talking about the 50 Cent verse or what you say?
Yeah, universe, the power universe.
The power universe.
The
I
power
said the 50
universe.
Cent universe.
It might as well be. The man raps on every intro. Like he narrates one of them, like he stars in another one. Like
that's funny. Oh wow, you found the Powerpuff Girls, like all of them?
That's dope.
I only found 2 and I wanted to get them all. And I need
she got every
the guy with the pink hair who carried a banjo. And I need to get that other Mojo Jojo.
Mm-hmm.
Mojo Jojo.
Mojo Jojo.
Robert Pattinson is in talks to star in a new sci-fi film from the writer of Snowpiercer. Netflix raised our prices again, but it was abrupt this time, and I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, like what?
Because I ain't never mind them raising my prices because they always told me before they did it.
Right. You know they usually send you an email like letting you know, like, but they just kind of said, "Hey."
I think they trying to because like I've been with Netflix since 2006, right? So I pay lower than other people because I'm grandfathered in.
Right.
I think they trying to catch us up, so everybody paying the same price. So they can
no, they most definitely are. I'm about to get on Netflix real quick and see how much they charge me.
Yeah, I think because I don't even know. Let's see. The Santa Claus series is coming to Disney Plus, starring Tim Allen.
Hey, here we go again. My man Allen.
The Cuphead show trailer dropped this week. It will be on Netflix on February 18th with 12 episodes. Jason Blum confirmed a Happy Death Day 3 is in the works.
Oh, shit.
I'll tell you, you're about to get excited.
Yeah, for a movie that I ain't seen yet.
No, you about to get excited. I'm about to say, because I don't think you saw this yet, because I didn't share it yet.
Right, because if you ain't share it, I ain't seen it.
A Christmas Story sequel is set with the original star, Peter Billingsley.
Stop it! Yes! Let's go. I love it. Yes. I did not hear that. Let's go. I'm down.
Black Panther has started back filming.
Thank you, Jesus. Because I was worried. I've been worried that it ain't going to happen.
Oh, and finally, Batman is 3 out. The Batman is 3 out.
Right. Get it right. The Batman. It's like in the movie The Social Network where he tells them, drop the off the Facebook. Like.
Or like, Spider-Man.
Right.
The Amazing
I don't
Spider-Man.
like I understand that there's a lot of Batman titles out there, but the Batman just kind of
like it's different differentiations of comics because that's why they did Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man because they're separate comics. And I believe that the Batman is a differentiation.
Got you.
Of a different version of a comic.
I'll take it. Well, my Netflix is $13.99 for the, I think I'm paying for the HD.
Yeah, mine's $11.99.
Yeah, okay. So yeah. I think I feel like I had the old prices, but yeah, somebody was on my shit and changed it. And then my prices changed without my permission. And yeah. Anyways, that's what happens when you share your shit with people.
I mean, I don't have any issues, but I also lock shit. So you can't get it.
And but yeah, you're right. But now I feel like I've learned my lesson.
I mean, because I got a lot of people on my Amazon Prime that I don't even really talk to like that, but I ain't had no issues. And the one time I did, they text me and was like, "Oh my God, I just made a mistake and charged something." And then I really was like, "Okay, let me go in," because they had been telling me you need to put a lock on.
Right.
And I was like, let me go and put this damn lock on here.
Right. After that happened, I definitely was a little bit more safe with my shit. Like, okay, so motherfuckers just do what they want to do. Okay, cool. Don't even tell you. You got to find out on your own when you get billed. Like, what the hell?
Oh man, I'm trying to catch up with this damn chat. Y'all chat.
I know y'all going in on the chickadee chat.
I forgot. That was the end of movie news. I told you it was gonna be downhill.
It was gonna be one of them days. I interjected as well, though. All right, y'all. You catch up in the chat. See if anything worthy of talking about before we get into our movie of the week, which is Being The Ricardos. Came out this year, rated R. Good old 2 hours, nothing crazy on Amazon Prime. Shout out to Chevy for letting me. I'm one of those people who hop on Chevy's Amazon Prime, and baby, what I do is I hop on, I watch the shit, and then of course I watched Harlem, and then I watched Harlem. Yes. And I absolutely enjoyed it. I'm ready for season 2. Let's go.
Yes.
But
wait, before you start,
yes,
who is your favorite character?
Oh my God, that's so hard. Is it? What is her damn name? The one with the big hair, the actress.
Angela? Ain't that her name?
Huh?
Angela.
I think it's Angela. It's between her and like probably my favorite lesbian character I've ever seen play before in the whole wide world. I forget her name too. I don't know why I'm drawing such a blank on all their names. Yes, I love them both. They're just so funny and just so authentically themselves, and like I really enjoy them. They're both really, really fun. They both really, really fun characters. I think they give the show that extra, like that makes it different than other shows, like than that your standard, Sex in the City, Insecure, where it's the 4 friends and the love woes and all that stuff. The way that they approach their characters gives it's for me, it's just like, okay, that's why I like Harlem. But they all found a way to be my favorite. Megan Good's character, she got on my nerves a lot. Like, make up your mind.
I loved it. My favorite 2 characters is Quinn and then Make Good's character.
Bruh.
Quinn is I am Quinn and she is me. Like when she was at the table trying to tell them that, my friend, when Stephanie Germanata says and they cut her off, I said, oh, I was just like, this is my
life. Yo, Kitty Boo Boo. Sorry, Kitty Boo Boo. I liked her character too. I just loved them as a whole little friend group. They were just all so cute.
Yes. Okay. All right.
But yes, I enjoyed Harlem. If you haven't seen it, please go watch on Amazon Prime now. All right. So we watched Being the Ricardos. Like I said, it came out this year, rated R, 2-hour movie. And it follows Lucy and Desi as they face a crisis that could end their careers and another that could end their marriage. Directed by Aaron Sorkin, written by Aaron Sorkin, and stars Nicole Kidman, Javier Bardem, and a host of many more good folk. And so if you don't know the Lucy and Desi that we're talking about, they were basically I Love Lucy, the stars of I Love Lucy. And it was a life on Lucille Bell and Desi. I can't remember his last name was Ricardo. Right? Yes. No, his real name was Arnez.
Oh, Arnez. Okay.
Arnez. Yeah. There were Ricardos on the show, right? Okay. Yeah, there were Ricardos on the show. So yeah, I know. And that is one thing about this show, not even just the show, but the damn, yes, they were a couple in real life. So you see the intertwining of it all. Like it's confusing at first, like from the way it starts off.
Thank you.
It starts off like a mock, like a documentary. And so I was like, I thought we was watching a film, not a documentary. I'm like, me and Chevy done effed up.
That's what I said.
I was like, this whole time they've been making it seem like it's gonna be a movie or a film, like. But it was a mockumentary, and it was just like playing with the idea. And so so throughout the film, they're telling you from these different perspectives like flashbacks of the show, which is still Nicole Kidman and them just being in black and white, but actual scenes that were from the show itself, the perspective of the writer and the showrunners of the which aren't the real versions of those people. Those are actors playing those people, those writers and the showrunner.
What, in the future?
The older versions. Yes, those aren't the real writers and showrunner. Those are actors playing Bob Carroll. Like that was an actor playing.
So they made a movie that they made like a documentary.
Yes, of a movie. It's totally a mockumentary. Like I had to go read some stuff because I wanted to find out. I was like, hold on. Was that really
like, why am I so confused? Why? I mean, like, why is this like this?
Yeah, why is this like this? And so they're telling from all these different perspectives, and it's a bit confusing and it's all over the place. And I have to say, even Wikipedia does an amazing job of like the plot and being able to follow along with the movie. They weren't able to follow along with the movie because they throw so many different things at you.
My notes look like this. This is how my notes look.
I was like, how me and Chevy gonna talk about what happened next and what I was like, I think that we're going to have to most of all like talk about the overall concept and some of the things that kind of happened and what was the like running theme throughout this film, because and just like Chevy said in the beginning, it's not bad.
No,
it's not bad, but the way they delivered it, which was very just like unorthodox and just not what we're used to. And yeah, like that's my take on it. Like, so you already said like how you felt when it first kind of opened up. Like,
yeah, like that part was like, okay, this is kind of cool. But where I got to the point where it was like, oh no, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, is when they went back into the past, when they said it, like when they cut to, because then I was like, okay, well maybe every time they talk about the past, they're gonna cut to the future with the real people. But then they didn't do that no more. And I was confused because I didn't know, because they didn't change the color, they didn't make it look no different. It's all look old to us. So how would we know the older from the old?
Talk about it. Talk about it. I mean, I was like, hold on, they was just in a relationship. Now he don't know her. I'm like, what games are y'all playing?
Yeah, I was very confused.
They wouldn't say stuff like, you would have to really catch on. You would have to use your context clues, because they wouldn't say a few months ago, 3, before they got married, 19, like blah, blah. They wouldn't tell you. They would just cut into something. I had to low key watch it twice in one sitting, like not watch it and be like, I'm gonna give it a break. I had to like, okay, let me go back to this part and kind of start from here and go from there. And then I was able to at the end be like, that actually wasn't that bad. But I was playing a lot of catch up and being like, hold on, pause. What happened? Like, what's going on right now? So it was easy, especially watching the second time, catching on to the theme of what this movie was about. It, just like being super surprised that like, oh, they really dated in real life. Like, I never knew that. The seeing how silly Lucille Ball was on the show, like the I Love Lucy character, and then like who she was, the duality she had like off stage was like, I really appreciated that genius that she had and that control she had. But yeah, you get it from the very moment. So once they're done with the mockumentary, they start getting into like the other story is they're leading up to this huge
it's the season finale.
Yeah, it's like the season finale, and they're going live, and it's like it's a big deal. And it just all started to make sense when it gets to the end. But yes, I don't know where to really start. Like, what are some like things that come to mind when you like?
Well, I thought it was interesting that they put all of that in there when really the movie was to talk about the week of the season finale of the show when she was accused of being a communist. And how they, from Monday to Friday, you know what I'm saying, getting over that hump and being able to move forward, and everything that happened in the past and in the
It's hard.
Okay, let me start over.
Because
I'm trying to figure out how to.
It's hard.
So the movie is like this, y'all. It start with them talking about how something happened that freaked them out, and it was a hard week. The next thing you see is like, you know, Lucy and Desi at the house arguing about a newspaper article.
Right. She's accusing him of cheating. Like, what the hell was she?
Yeah, because she accusing. Then the next thing you see is him and her having sex, but they listening to the radio. And then all of a sudden, the dude calls her a communist.
Yes.
So that's where, and then that must have been Sunday, because the next day,
yeah,
they at the studio and they are walking in to a war zone because you cannot be a communist in this time or that time.
Right, this time or that time. and then also be a popular actress on a show.
Was they still calling, wait, who is it? I don't want to say the wrong person, but I think it's Jane Fonda. They be trying to get her on that.
Really?
Tommy stuff, yeah. They used to do that to a lot of women. It was like, that's what they used to, it was basically like accusing them of being a witch back in the day, because it would ruin their life, because they would go to jail for that. It wasn't just like they would lose their career.
That's how it goes.
It was a rough watch.
I was just about to say that. Like, it's not a rough watch. It's not, you're just, as you're watching it, by the time you're understanding what just happened, you're being thrown into another event that is important, but you're like, I'm just getting the concept of what, like, oh, okay, she's a communist, and like, but where is this coming from? And I think it's because this is information that is not very known to
right. And I think that's what was hard for me to watch, because I don't know nothing about her.
I don't know nothing about her.
So this whole situation to me was me literally learning about it through watching this movie and saying, oh, I don't never hear about this. But why would we hear about it if by the end of the week they had solved the problem? It's not news anymore. So her legacy can now be cleared in real life, and that's not something that needs to be spoken on, because it didn't go on for a month, 6 months. Yep. She didn't have to go to trial. She didn't have to get a lawyer. It went on for a week, theoretically, from what they're telling us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it took a minute to really catch on to that concept. So it's like, 1 minute, and then I realized in that very opening scene too, what you spoke up to at that point, we get a huge introduction to the hot and cold of their relationship. Like, I think somebody even mentions it in the movie. It's like they're either like yelling at each other or tearing each other's clothes off. Like, they're either arguing or makeup sex, like they're that couple, makeup sex, argue, makeup sex, argue, makeup sex. And we get a real introduction to who Lucille Ball is, not only as a wife, but because she even has this duality too. Sounds like a rough week. It definitely was. Is that she's like bad boss bitch at the studio, and then also she tries to translate that over to her relationship with Desi, but it doesn't really work. And so by this time, I think after they've realized the whole communist stuff and how it can ruin her career, and let's just try to get a hold of this before everything starts. Then I think we actually get into the table read. That's when maybe.
Yes, I mean, yeah, we at the table read,
we're getting introduced to the writers and the showrunner
and the other actors, and I feel like they read the script or whatever. Lucy was real nitpicky.
Oh, so nitpicky.
And you could just feel the energy being sucked out of the room. And I thought it was cool how they would show her like going over the scenes in her mind.
That was one of
and
my
actually
favorite
showing
parts.
us, her going through those processes. But I also was like, well, I don't know. It was like something about that as well was kind of just like, I don't know. It was something about it I didn't like as well, and I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it kind of, I feel where you're coming from. I think it kind of steals from the moment of actually being in the act. It steals from the moment of being there in this piece of history, right? So obviously, I Love Lucy has its own history of the show. You can go like look it up. You can go watch our episodes, YouTube, as far as like us in the real world. But in this movie, I don't feel like we always needed to have that. Like, at least not right there when we're trying to, but I guess they were trying to show you like her genius, and that was amazing, but I felt like they could have did that without actually having the flashbacks and what was going on in her mind. I think that they could have conveyed that a little bit better, because it was like, hold on, is this a real moment? Like, okay,
Yeah,
is this
because I
how
was
it
like,
really went down?
oh, is this how the scene really went down? Yeah, you just
Is this how the scene really went down? That's why I was like, I know the grape scene was a huge thing, right? I've seen that before. Like, I was like, okay, yeah. I know this. I've never really watched I Love Lucy. I was like, I know
I
this.
never really liked I Love Lucy. I don't like slapstick
It was
comedy.
a bit much.
It was like in the whole movie they were fighting to make her be smarter. And I understand that probably was a struggle that never got fulfilled or solved in the show, partially I think because of her finding out that Desi cheated on her. But I could never watch that show because I don't like Three Stooges. I don't like that kind of humor, like that body humor they call it.
Oh yeah, that physical comedy.
Physical comedy.
Her story was interesting, and that was the thing too. They were telling a lot of different stories. Like, I thought it was cool that they were talking about the 1 week, right? They stage it in this time where they're not trying to force a whole history of their relationship. But then that's exactly what they did. They show us how they met and how, like, the times that they've shared and how they built up to this moment, and then slash showing her story and her acting history, and it's just like a glance. It's just a glance, but a little dig in the deep a little bit. That's a lot.
But was it really a movie about her trying to prove that she wasn't a communist? We all knew, even if we didn't know, that she wasn't no communist. Right. I believe the film was a film about a relationship because that's the moment that they left us with. That's the thing that they left us hanging with and left us to wonder what happened. I mean, you could go Google what happened, but the way they intricately told this story and then left us with that, with no intricate explanation or ending. Now I'm in my mind running around like in a maze because I'm trying to figure it out, like how the mechanics of this movie work. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
How did it work? Because when she had arguments, she was very logical, apologetic in a way, but also very not nice.
No.
And it's probably very hard to have an argument with a person that can say, oh yeah, I was wrong. I shouldn't have did that. But I don't want to fight right now. Let's not do this right now. But no. We need to do this right now.
The constant thing with her was, is this a joke right now? Is this a bit? Like, people always was like, are you trying to be funny? Like, are you? Because her comedy was a mixture of, and not I Love Lucy, that was a character, but her true comedy, who she was like off camera, was this very sarcastic, dry-witted humor, you know, and it was hard to know. Like
my favorite scene, example of that, is when she brought the writer in that room and she wanted to try to change the scene.
Yeah.
And she was like, we should not be talking about like this. She told Lucy, we shouldn't be talking about this right now. And then she said something to her and she's like, we shouldn't be talking about this right now. She was like, I just said that. And that's a conversation with her.
That's a conversation with her. Or when they asked her, is she a communist? And she was like, I mean, I wouldn't say that I am, but I kind of am. But yes, I am. Hold on,
no, I'm not a communist. No, I've never been associated with a communist party, but technically I kind of am.
I am. That's it right there. It was just like, girl, if you don't shut the hell up. It was it was just a mess sometimes.
I mean, even when she, after the communist stuff, she hugged Desi and said, oh my God, this is so great. How did you get it done? Did you cheat on me?
Oh my God, that is my favorite part. He's like, is this a bit? Yeah, man, that was so hilarious.
Like, but then after she got it out of him, she was like, oh, let's not talk about this right now. Let's do the show. We got a half hour to get it done. But she set his ass up. She knew he was lying from jump. That's why that's the first scene they showed us in the movie.
It is why they set us up so perfectly to let us know. Ass up too. Oh, she got him good. She knew exactly what she was doing with that.
Because she had already found it. That's why they showed her at the lunch. That's why they showed her there. Because that's how she found it.
Yep. And that is why she called them in because they were asking her like, what's wrong with you? What's going on? And she was going to tell them for a second, like, this is what's going on. But it's like what they say about people who are super, super funny. You know, the funny you are, most likely that's how dark your life is, because that fuels that energy into being like, I need to laugh. I need to make others laugh. I had this type of life, so this is how I get attention, or this is how I get adoration from people, or whatever it may be. And so anytime anything happened between her and Desi, she put it into the work. She put it into the work. Yeah, she really did.
Desi was a very logical man, and she couldn't prove it. So why, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I can't just be walking around thinking he cheating.
And that's a good point, because I was really trying to figure out why she just wouldn't leave him.
Crazy. I kept thinking she was crazy and he wasn't cheating and she was just tripping, because he kept logically explaining to her and she kept saying, you know what, you was right. Yeah, that's you right. You right.
Yeah, the picture. What was the other time? The whole boat situation. The fact that when we find out that their schedule is like, you know, that infamous passing ships in the night type thing. She's leaving out. He's coming in. Like,
and he denied women. He denied them. You saw him deny women.
Yeah.
So it was just like, she is kind of on the warpath right now. Maybe she just tripping. Maybe she did, and they play you. She spoke about how good of a man he was. You know what I'm saying? Everybody did. So, you know,
he absolutely.
When he said that he cheated on her, when it came out, when that fucking another napkin came out, my mouth was on the damn floor. I said, "Oh my God,
he did." No, he wasn't gay. What, Stacey?
How did you even say that?
I stepped away for a minute. My man was gay. No.
Who?
Oh, that's hilarious. I said I stepped away.
So you think he was gay because he was cheating on her?
Right. Well, that's what we tried to figure out. Like, what did we say that made you think that he was gay? So from this point on, like we're put into the week, the table read, the communist stuff. They're trying to fix it. What? Oh, he denied women.
Like, because he's supposed to not cheat on his wife.
He was
like, no, ma'am, I cannot have sex with you tonight because I have a wife.
Yes, he did. He was telling the hoes like, chill on me. I know I'm your little Puerto Rican. Oh, I'm sorry, Cuban
Poppy.
Right, Latin poppy, but I cannot be. Yeah, so want to get to possibly like how they started to when they started, like their story of how they started dating. Like I thought that was the most awkward, like I don't know, maybe I'm just too used to how people write love stories. And although this is like this, because that was real life, but it was just the most awkward. I've never seen people come together like that, because in my eyes, she never gave him the energy like, you sexy as hell, I like you, you know, she just, it's like she picked him and he's the guy. And I never knew her real reasoning until as they started to be in a relationship, like, oh, like I guess I understand why she wants him. And I think it's because of that logical stuff you spoke on, or like what
he was a Cuban in whatever time. What is this? The 60s, the 50s?
Yeah, this is
with his
like
own
50s,
production company. Why wouldn't you want to be with him?
He was a swagger man. Like,
I mean, he was a Cuban man,
he
living in a white man's America in the 50s, with his own production studio, paying young white men money.
That was pretty
Why
dope.
wouldn't you want to be with him? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. I mean, because all the other women were absolutely swooning over him.
And
I just guess
friendly.
it's because she didn't
nice.
I guess it's because she didn't come with that same energy, so it was hard to know, like,
But she was nothing like him. He filled her holes. She don't walk in the room and it light up. You know what I'm saying? People know her for what she good at, and that's what they want her for.
Yeah.
She doesn't have if you like her, it's because she done looked at, like how she had to take them girls out and talk to them and say, I really do love y'all. I really do appreciate y'all. I really know I don't show it all the time, because she's about business. She's a woman about business. Her jokes is on stage. I don't do laughs for free. Period. He is a nice dude. He filled her holes. Yeah. And I believe she saw him and saw how he captivates people, how he gets people to love him, and realized that she needed a man like that because she was having a hard time getting people to love her.
That's deep. That's deep right there. Because I was like, girl, you are not. But he was very interested in her. I thought, I will say, the player in her definitely came out. I seen her game when she told him to tell. What did she say to him? She said, say something to me that you never said to anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
Like
no, she said, wait, try to pick, what pickup line would you use on somebody or something like that?
Yeah, it was something like that, which I thought was like, okay,
no. Her real boss move is when they had just had sex. And she was like, I'm about to call my fiance. Give me 1 second. He's sitting there like, wait a minute. What you talking? You got a wait a minute. What? You got a fiance? And then she said, hey, how you doing? Look, I don't love you. You don't love me. You cheat on me every chance you get, and I'm done. Bye. Well, I love you, but not really. Bye.
I was like giving me a la Harlem Nights, like when Sunshine put it on him. I was like, damn, I'll rock with Lucy. Like she a pimp. I love that moment. She said, I ain't going nowhere. In fact, my man that I already got, bye, see you later. I'm good. Thank you.
But he was sat there and was like, yay.
He sure did, like, okay, cool. But it was so funny. He was trying to get over the whole fiance thing, like, your fiance.
But he was like, what? You gotta hold on. What the?
She just got to the conversation.
And then she said, I'm sorry, what were you saying? Like
She was a pimp. And you make really great points. And I mean, a woman like that, she definitely needs somebody to bring some softness to her and bring that laughter and that light, because she's so dry witted and straight to the point and just like, no, let's get to it. She does need somebody to soften that for her. And you're right, he definitely, that's what he brought to the table, because he was so likable. And he really did truly love her and adore her.
Yes.
Like that, there's no question about it, which why it was hard to believe that he was actually cheating.
Yeah, I'm still baffled by that. But I mean, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, so they say.
Yeah, I mean, I still won't get
Brad
over
Pitt cheated on Jennifer Aniston.
Period. What's
Mark
my other
Anthony
one
cheated on J-Lo.
Who cheated on Halle Berry? All her boyfriends cheated on her. Goddamn. You know? Shit. Ooh. Sorry, Halle Berry. I love you, girl. Respect.
So J-Lo, Mark Anthony cheated on J-Lo.
Yeah, Mark Anthony show did cheat on J-Lo with his skinny head self, looking like Creeper. You got some nerve to be cheating on J-Lo.
And the other one. And the other one cheated on her too.
The baseball player.
Derek Jeter. No, Derek Jeter. Oh, that is Derek Jeter.
It is Derek Jeter. Yes, it is. But that was Halle Berry who dated the other fine one back in the day who was abusive. David Justice, I think was his name. Lord have mercy. We need to stop bringing up these cheating ghosts. Everybody you named all hood. I need to start Better Love. You stupid.
They do.
All right, so at this point, you know, we got the cheating allegations, we got the communist stuff. We are seeing the genius of
pregnant.
Lucy. Yes, we're seeing the genius of what she is and how oh man, the way the stuff she did behind scenes to manipulate this to work, always work in her advantage. And like the way she dropped I'm pregnant on them. And again, we're talking about late 50s, early 60s. You don't go on television. This is the day and time where like separate beds, you know, we don't talk about sex. We don't like when she said fucking in the writer's room, everybody just was like, oh no, stop. You need to leave. Like,
and it was so funny because the guy from Carol who was with Therese was in there.
Yes.
I was like, you the same nigga from the other movie.
Like, same nigga. I see what they be trying to do. I see what they be trying to do in these movies.
You playing the same character.
Man, it's just people like, it's so crazy how somebody of this time, all you got to do is put a certain suit on them, put their hair a certain way, and it's like, you are from 1955. But yes, they just, so you couldn't say pregnant on television. So of course they're like, this is gonna put production on hard, like, you know how TV shows get, how the Hollywood gets when a woman gets pregnant. Well, these days they hide it as long as they can. Like, then you do your Beyonce reveal and then like you keep it pushing. Right. Then you keep it pushing. But they were like, we can hide pregnancy with her doing laundry with a hamper and like put her behind stuff and blah 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 blah. And they just like, no. What we gonna do is they're gonna have a kid on the show. Period. They're like, how we gonna have a kid on the show? They don't even sleep in the same bed. Desi was like, we just push the beds together. Like, y'all just think y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. Yep. But God damn it, but we also start to see how their marriage, like, how would you put it? Like, starts to have trouble in this whole scenario. Honestly, right?
Their marriage had always had trouble. They never seen each other, so they never got opportunity to build their marriage.
Because I would say, as beautiful as some of the components of their relationship seemed like it was, sometimes it did seem like a business deal.
Yeah, and I mean, not on purpose. But I mean, if you get married to somebody and you working at RKO and you going to the club every night and we meeting on the top of a hill at 3:00 in the morning because we can't see each other, that means we only seeing each other for an hour at a time and maybe on the weekends. And how are we cultivate? How do we, really understand each other as married people? We understand each other as business partners. Because that's what drew us to each other in the first place. We knew we could do something for each other. But as far as a couple, I think they always had trouble. And because she was being so disrespectful to people and she was being so manic and she was, being so extra, you know what I'm saying, this week, because she knew that her life was on the line, I think it just exacerbated everything else that hadn't been spoken of, because what, they was going home, go sleep. They was probably at the studio every day until late. So they come home, go to sleep, and we ain't got no time to talk. They might have sex because they like having sex with each other, but they don't have time to do the normal people things. And if they do, they going out with a group of people and they talking business.
In so many moments, I realize that they don't have that time with each other. Like, if he's not headlining this or doing this or just like sound like living the life that he had on the side, like he was just breaking her back out, or they were acting, they were working. Like, you're right, they never really had that time. It makes me wonder, like, why didn't she just call it for what it was? Like, just accept it for what it was.
Because they loved each other genuinely. So it wasn't a business deal. They loved each other. They still had sex. They were in love with each other. They just couldn't find the time to be as a couple, and which put a strain on their relationship because they didn't know each other as a couple. They fell in love at first sight.
Completely.
That's a different kind of love. They loved each other. See, it's one thing to say, I'm just with him because we doing business together. I don't like him no more. He don't like me. It's an understanding. The difference between these two people is they actually loved each other. So there was no reason for them to get a divorce. There was no reason for them to not show that love and be together, because the love was there. And they knew it. Everybody knew it. But everybody, what I felt like I saw is the fact that everybody felt bad for them, because they knew how much they loved each other and they knew how much they cared about each other and they adored each other, but they couldn't spend any time together. And that was always a strain on their relationship.
Yeah. So, like, with that being said, do you think it was possible for them to have both? Because, I think that that's a constant thing in people's life too, where it's just like that work-life balance. And so how do you maintain the love of your life, but also work with them? Like, would they have to give up the life to be?
One of them will. That's why Jada Pinkett, Will Smith, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds. Who else? Oh, Hitch. Girl from Hitch. Where's she at? Being at home, being a mama.
Well, Eva Mendes? Yeah, I haven't seen her in a minute.
Because she's a mama now.
Wow. I'm trying to think of some more
gotta do it.
Too. Yeah. Or what's my man's
Ryan Gosling,
Fishburne's
her husband,
Lawrence Fishburne's wife. Well, no, she still acts a little bit. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Me and Aaron. Period. Somebody got to take the role. No, you're right.
And I mean, you could look at that and say, she would have gave it up so they could have had some type of normalcy, but he still wouldn't have been at home. She still would have seen him in passing, and she would have gave all that up for nothing.
Yeah,
because then,
life.
You know what I'm saying? No, because then she would have resented him. Then, you know what I'm saying? No,
completely.
And I think they love the art just as much as they loved each other.
Yeah.
And they worked so hard on their own name that they couldn't give it up. They couldn't. He was a Cuban man on television at a time where racism was rampant.
Like they even say it when she pitches the whole idea of him being her husband on the show. They're like, how you gonna have a show about an American woman being with an un-American man, like on an American cable network? Like, that's not gonna happen, lady. Like, you tripping.
Yeah, and not only that, this turned from, oh, my husband is home. I don't think that was the name of the show, but it was something like that.
It was something like that.
I Love Lucy. For a woman that was in her 40s,
talk about it,
to get a show with her name and to work a deal for her husband like that, we can't stop because we ain't never gonna get this opportunity again.
Period. When they said that she was the queen of B movies, I was like, damn. Jeez. Like, she was labeled, she thought she was getting more movies. She was getting terminated. They like, we good on you.
The industry was different back then.
It was so different.
It wasn't about the talent. It wasn't about how much talent you had.
Popularity. Pretty, beautiful. Do the people want you? Do the men want to have sex with you? Like, what is it for the men? It's like, do the women want to have sex with you and the men want to be you? For the women, it's like same thing. Like the industry was very different, and that's my favorite.
And not only that, they was under contract too. So back then, movie times reminds me of like DJs on the radio.
Yeah,
how you'll be listening to Coco, and then the next day they'll be sitting on the radio crying because they found out it was their last day because their contract is up.
Because their contract is up, and nobody talked about you re-ing up. And in fact, when you had that meeting, you don't know. It's like American Idol. You don't know if you're getting called in the room and told you're going to Hollywood or like, nope, you didn't make it.
You get aged out. You get aged out. That's what happened to people back then.
You get caught into like, you think you could get caught into a stereotype these days. Back then, like, if
you were contracted into a damn stereotype, and then they would age your ass out.
It was a wrap. So what did you think of the relationship between her and her co-star, her female co-star?
It was so funny because the writer woman in her future version of herself said that was her best friend. And then the woman who played Evelyn said, "You are my best friend." I said, she wouldn't be my best friend. She's too damn much. Whoever she was when she wasn't on that set, she had to be really amazing. Whoever she was when she was not working had to be extremely amazing, because even when Evelyn was mad at her, even when she felt disrespected by her, she didn't feel like she couldn't say what she needed to say to her, even though she was this intimidating presence. But she also knew that deep down, she understood what drove her.
Yeah.
And that kind of made her be able to not be hurt by it. But they really did have friendships. Like, they were real friends because
like understand her intent.
Yeah. Even if she was wrong, and say, okay, I'm gonna say, and not only that, from Lucy's point of view, she knew she was on some bullshit sometimes. And even if she didn't apologize, she would admit her wrongdoing, but she wouldn't like try to cuss nobody out when she knows she wrong. Like when she brought her that food, she knew she was wrong. Gonna do that. And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna get this out. And it's like, okay. She's like, yeah, okay.
Just a moment. Let's just do it.
Because it was funny when they got done and she said everything she had to say. And she's like, okay. Yeah. Okay. And then she just walked away. She just
walked away. No, for real. Oh my God. Again, like this is a movie that I feel like I could watch again and laugh more, enjoy more. Like, that's why I don't believe it's a rough watch, because it's something that I believe every time you watch it, you're going to get something different. You're going to get something different. Like, you're going to feel, you'll get a better grasp of who Lucille Ball is and her relationship, with her work, the love of her life, and the people that she absolutely loves around her. Like this show, like she was so into it because she loved it. She's reading her script, she's constantly making changes. She's not being a bitch just to be a bitch. It was a lot of purpose behind her genius, and it wasn't ego feeding.
Well, I tell you one thing that I noticed that I thought was like, well, this should be obvious from everybody here, was when they were rehearsing the scene and they had Evelyn and the other dude sit down in a chair with their backs turned to the camera. And I said to myself, like, who would direct that way? And you got them doing all this stuff on the table.
We can't see none of
that.
We can't see none of it. It made no sense. And I was kind of like, would y'all listen to the woman? Like, she's not being there's something really wrong with this dinner, like the blocking of this. And it sounds like y'all just don't want to take direction from somebody.
No, I think it was because she was pushing too hard because she knew this was it. She felt the weight of her circumstances and she was pushing too hard. So everybody kept saying, are you okay? Because you are, we used to you pushing hard. We respect that. Right. But you are pushing really hard this week because of your circumstances. And we don't know if you're going into a spiral and you're not going to be able to do this show on Friday. Right. So we try not to feed into this.
Live, baby.
Yeah. So we try not to feed into this because we don't know if it's coming from your genius or your stress.
Yep. Ooh, that's profound.
Oh, well, thank you.
You know what? That probably is some of creators and artists and people who make, like, one of their biggest issues is like, is this coming from like here or here, or there, out there?
Like, what's my driving force? What is driving me right now? Is panic driving me right now? Is creativity really driving me right now?
Or am I just trying to,
churn this out real quick? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Completely.
And I think when you're the creative in that, or anybody, because you don't have to necessarily be an actor or a photographer or a writer to have these moments, these manic moments where you.
Yeah.
People do that too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? People who don't
do that, they do that within their work.
A lot of shifts and you don't want to leave and you there all day because you gotta, and people don't know, and you might be a good worker. You might pick up shifts, but you might have just got some bad news and you don't know how to handle it. So now you killing yourself.
Yep.
Picking up shifts because you can't. So people know how you are, but now people asking you, hey man, are you okay? You've been here 7 days in a row and you done work 12-hour shifts.
Period.
We appreciate you, but
it's not worth it.
We don't know. We don't want you to down us. Right, are you okay? No, I'm okay. I just want to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
But she wasn't okay.
She wasn't okay. she wasn't okay. Because between the communist stuff, the cheating, and just the overall like pressure of just putting on this show, because it was such a big deal, because I have a feeling, were they always live, or was this just they were always live? Okay, because I couldn't tell if this was their first time ever going live or
no, it was just a season finale.
It was
the
just because it was a season
episode
finale.
of
It was
season.
just a big deal. Okay.
I mean, it wasn't gonna be a big deal. The communist comment made it a big deal.
Gotcha.
Because she had been doing it this was her second season. So I'm sure they had already renewed her for a third. But now, since this communist comment has happened,
it's like this could be the end.
This could end my world. And this is the last. I have to make them feel like I have given them something to make them. I mean, the only thing she can do is this. So the only thing she can do is try to make this the best she can. I mean, that's not going to help her.
Pretty evident. They were talking about like how many viewers they had, and 60 million viewers, and 21 million people are talking about this. And it was like, okay, so this was
going to the store and washing their hands. They said they had to change the late day for the grocery store because people stopped going to the grocery store. People stopped using water.
Wild.
So that means people didn't go to the bathroom while they watched it.
Wild. That's nuts.
But so where are we at?
Yeah, by now we found out she's pregnant. They're having the baby. Show super popular. She's stressed out about that scene. We're kind of getting towards that moment of when everything's kind of that huge junction of like the adultery, the communist stuff. Like, I'm trying to think because I don't want to miss.
We kind of talked about a whole bunch of different stuff.
Which is how the movie kind of goes to.
But it's two things I want to highlight. The guy who played JJ in Spider-Man, he was my favorite character.
Yeah.
But not him as the character, in the sense of like not how he acted when he was at work, but like that scene, like how he treated her and how he spoke with her.
Yeah, because he was like the drunkard, and he was so the banter between him and his actress, the wife who plays the actress who plays his wife, was like my favorite part of the whole film. Like,
I love the part when he was like, let's go cross the street, get a drink.
Yeah.
And then she saw the props guy and said, or just guy, I don't even think.
Yeah, somebody that works on set.
He was just like, tell them we're going to be gone 15 minutes and I need a vase. Well, I need some flower shears because I'm going to do the scene. And then he was like, he's going to hate you now. Like, he was like, why are you telling him all of this? He doesn't want to know any of this. Right. Why are you doing this?
Well, you know, we about to just go and just do this. Like,
but she was very manic during that time, and she had to keep saying it over and over again because she was trying to prove a point. And it gets to a point where you're trying to prove a point that you don't care who you're talking to.
Yep.
You're just trying to get somebody to say, I see what you're saying. I agree. I get it. I like it. I want you to do that. It don't matter if it's a homeless man on the side of the street. If you trying to prove your point, you gonna tell him. And you waiting on him to say, I agree. If he don't agree, you gonna find somebody else.
So completely true. And he took her across the street and they had a real conversation. And it was an opportunity to not only see her in a more, I wouldn't say exactly submissive, but like,
no, not at all.
Not submissive, but definitely on the other side of like hearing, like the idea that maybe she is actually hearing him out. Like maybe, like that's what you was hoping deep down, like because the man was really like talking some real shit. Like just like, girl, I hope you hear.
And then they got right back on that set.
She threw
that shit out the goddamn window.
She threw it out the window. And then the way she tried to interject it in real quick, like, hold on, y'all. You okay with that, Desi? And he was like, I don't care. She like,
she looked over at him like, love it. Because that's how he dealt with his wife. Yeah.
She looked over at him like, is that good enough? He was like, girl, you don't get it.
So she trying to change the script. Get him to change the script. She trying to make Lucy be smarter. She trying to do all of these things in one weekend. Don't nobody understand until the newspaper is dropped.
The article comes out. It's official. It's in writing.
And it's in red, and they ain't never even seen red ink before. It's a new newspaper.
Yeah. They went out their way.
It's a new newspaper. and
she is.
Everybody just like, okay, they done put it in the newspaper. Reporters she finding out reporters gonna be there. Now she getting scared. Her and Desi get into it because I guess communist kind of, because she been holding all this stuff in. Yeah, she been being so, coy about it, like it's not a big deal. And it was because earlier JJ asked him, how was it when it happened to you, when they came to got you?
Yeah, I thought that was a beautiful moment too.
And I said, oh, she is not being very empathetic in her explanation, and she is making this very,
it's just down to this whole like, my grandfather believed in workers' rights. It's like, okay,
but she's not being empathetic or sympathetic to her own husband's situation because she's so far up her own butt. And I kept saying, like, is he gonna say something to her? Because obviously she doesn't understand, not only from the world's perspective, why it's not just you mad because I told him you checked the wrong box, but you don't understand what they did to people, and your explanation is not good enough for why you checked the box. Because where was you? Did you have your head under a rock? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to like make you feel bad, because it's not you didn't do it, right? But also, like, it's not going
wake up.
It's not, that's not a good enough explanation to tell people when they've killed people. Yes. Ruined my life. They ruined my life. Your husband. And you don't even get it from that standpoint because you standing on this bullshit. Yeah. Because that's easy for you because you're a white woman living in America. And when he cussed her out about it, I said, thank God. Because maybe now she understands. And she did. And because she was scared at that point.
That's when we start to see her character break down, and we start to understand why he's in her life.
Yeah, because she just and then you start to see her saying, she didn't, she listened. That was probably the first scene that you saw her actually hear, but it was because she can't stand. Lucy might be gone. Only person might be standing here is Lucille.
Yeah. Talk about it. I mean, and to talk about that, what happens with all of these people out here when a lot of social injustice happens, that crying Karen, now you want to be apologetic, and now you want to switch up your swag, and I wasn't trying to call you the N-word, and I wasn't being mean, when you know that your life and everything you've worked for is completely out of jeopardy, and now people are outside of your house picketing and asking for you to be fired. And so you're so right. Like, once what everything she worked for was in jeopardy, it was kind of like, maybe I should open my ears. And
because you did pick the wrong box. Do you not forget this? These communists is why my life got uprooted, why I had to run here. And you talking about my granddaddy was a good man
and believe in workers' rights.
Grandpa Fred, you just keep talking about Grandpa Fred.
Like, I'm sure a lot of KK members used to wake up and make their kids pancakes and oatmeal or some shit like that, or sung lullabies to you at night. But that doesn't negate the fact of the harm and the violence and the terrible shit that they did 4 years and was a part of, and you're so right. Like, until Lucy, and she was gonna be Lucille, was at risk, baby girl was just kind of like very nonchalant. I can't be touched. I got bigger and better things to think about.
Right. I forgot to do this earlier.
What?
Because I know a lot of people don't know what a communist is or what.
I had to refresh myself because I know. I thought I had an idea, but I wasn't completely sure.
And I screenshotted the definition of communism.
Yes.
Okay. Communism is a political theory derived from Karl Marx, advocating class war and leading to a society in which all property is public owned and each person works and is paid according to their abilities and needs. Now, I don't know.
So a good example of that is like the way they are in like some areas in China, like, you know, they don't have presidents, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this classless, there's no rich or poor. At least that's the way I perceived it. Like, obviously there are people who make more money than other people, but like we all are like citizens of this place. You know, there it's, you know, Russia I think was a great example of like communist, right? um I'm sure if you Google it people can find out, but it's not the place that we live in now.
Hey, I just wanted to read the definition for people and people can do their own research.
Period.
But she ended up not being a communist.
Right.
They ended up playing it up very well.
Oh man, they did a great job.
They did it. You know, that probably, I don't even believe that was the president. Okay.
I don't believe it was either.
Just to go to show you how gullible people
Well,
were.
hold on. I'm looking at it. And technically, I guess at the time, J. Edgar Hoover, he wasn't the president. He was the FBI director.
Oh.
At the time, he was the director, so he wasn't the president. So I guess that's why they were able to get that call. But still, the FBI director is still pretty like.
I mean, but he knew people. His father was the mayor in Cuba,
True.
So he knew people. He was a connected man, and I was like, see, this is why she with this man, because Lucy. What I will say about her is she knew people and people knew her, but people sold her short. And not only that, when people did that, she, you know, walked away. F you, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And I just think she had a hard time making those connections and getting people to believe in what she was trying to sell. And I think Desi could have sold salt to a snail.
Period.
Because he sold us a lie, and we believed it that he wasn't cheating on her.
We sure
up until
did.
the very.
No, I did.
Up until the very end.
I mean, if she didn't have a lipstick, I would have been like, "Bitch, you wow! Why are you?"
I was like, "Girl, why are you doing this? Why is you doing this?" And then she pulled out the damn thing, and I said, "Oh,
I see why you're doing this.
Look at the shit on my face."
Oh man!
Like, oh, let me ask this thing. I think I'm about to head out.
I think I'm about to head out. Period. That's a good one.
But yeah, so she wins, but she loses.
Yes,
but in a different way. Now, okay, so then they started talking about how she they tried to do the scene that she wanted to do.
She was so adamant about this,
and it was like when he say, "Lucy, I'm home," but she, dropped the line, and they kept saying this is the first time she had ever did that, and and she gazed off into the abyss when he said,
right,
"Lucy, I'm home," and it was a very big thing of her like saying she wanted a home, and how they were saying she had 3 homes, but she a lot of times when she was feeling down, she would say, "I don't have a home." When she was gazing off into the distance, okay, I'm gonna tell you what I thought.
Yeah,
I thought, just from everything that had happened, I feel like in that moment when he said, "Lucy, I'm home," in a very sad way, I feel like she realized that her home was there.
Yep. No, totally. I think the first time I watched it, I thought it was she realized that she didn't have a home. And that him saying that made her realize that she didn't, right? The second time I watched it, I was like, oh shit. Like that's why she needed that so bad, because this right here is her home. it is where she seems to some degree be herself at the most of herself, like, which is why it makes so much sense that she pulled him in, to be her husband there. Like, why she was always circling things and crossing stuff out and adding stuff in, because she had control. And bam, it totally made sense. Totally made sense. So yeah, it took a second watch to kind of figure that out. So I completely agree with you, where it's just like, yeah, because the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, she doesn't have a home.
At first I was kind of just like, oh man, she's sad. But then I was like, but I feel like she is having a moment of sadness, but also a moment of realization. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and I think she realized she finally found her home.
Yep. That where I think at times that it was something she was looking for, but in that moment, it was like she really realized that she found it, and it was here. It was there. Yep.
You got anything else to say about this film?
I thought that it was just like a very, it's so wild, like how I hated how they did the 3 perspectives, or the 2 perspectives, where they did the now, the mockumentary, and where they did the flashbacks, and where they did the story of what's happening in that moment. It was a lot of different stories being told at one time, but like I said, like, you watch it, you get something different from it each time, and you hear something different, you learn something different, you feel something different. But it's a good watch, but like again and again, not just one straight through. You're gonna have to watch it a second time.
That movie remind me of like the opening of Casino.
Low key.
The whole movie.
Yeah, just kind of like just out of sequence, and what's happening, and how much time has went past, and
keep jumping.
Just like, damn, what is going on? You're right. That's exactly how Casino is set up. Like, okay. All right. Like, I'm so confused. And then dropping in characters, and we're just supposed to know where they are at and understand the relationship and the background they had, even though somebody might say something, but it's like, that's still not enough. But I like it. I enjoyed it. I felt like definitely the theme was home. What makes a home? What is a home for you? Just, and in a sense too, like, I'm seeing this other underlying story of just how she just like went after something, she's seeing something for herself, and she kind of redefined success and all that stuff for herself. And just like you said, like, sometimes talent, it's not always about talent. And I love that she made a way to find, like, let's let talent be the thing that gets me in the door, not my face, not because who I know, even though that may have worked out for her in some instances. But like, I like that storyline too. I liked her showing her come up, and that was dope. Like, that radio thing was so fucking sweet to me.
What?
The way the show that was previous to
when she started doing the radio,
I just thought it was so cool that they had an audience there. They were on the radio. They had the band in the back. I was like, that's fucking sweet as shit. It just kind of reminds me of like how now people are doing like narrative podcasts, like shows, but they're podcasts, like, or they're audio versions of like movies. Like, I thought that was like pretty sweet. Like, that's a dope concept. A dope concept.
I did one of them before in class.
Really?
I had to do all the, my shit was scary.
Of course.
I found me some
stories, which is really good though.
Found like a scary story online, and then I went outside, and I got myself walking for my footsteps, and I found lightning and thunder. I found music, and then I did the recording, and I changed my voice in areas and stuff.
Okay, now.
And then I did some other shit. I probably still got that thing.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I want to listen.
Yeah, but it turned out real good, and it was all like Crypt Keeper-ish. Yeah.
I mean, it really makes me think about all the ideas, and we talked about this a lot. This has nothing to do with the movie. Is that all the ideas we talked about? Like maybe maybe we should do some audio versions of it. That might be kind of sick. Like that might be kind of dope. Because man, when you got these ideas in your head, you just want to get them off you. Just like get them off you, get them done, get it out there. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a cool movie. Would you ever watch it again?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, since I've already now watched it twice, I'm like, if somebody else wanted to watch it around me, I'd watch it again for sure. I could see myself like a year from now maybe watching it again if I wanted to gain some type of inspiration, or just like I like how they.
If I was going into a deep dive Nicole Kidman day, I would watch it again because I watch it again. Yeah, I do that. So,
do you think that she earned that Golden Globe? Like,
I don't know enough about Lucille Ball to know.
The acting was like it seemed good, but yeah,
but I mean, even her walk, she doesn't walk like that.
Yeah, the face.
She was walking with like her arm didn't move, and she had kind of like a thing with her body, like where this side was lower than this side when she walked, and I was like, now that was the thing that I really noticed. That I said, damn, she ain't even walking like herself.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
The voice definitely, it was hard to hear Nicole Kidman sometimes. It was like, damn, is that her? Like, and then whatever that prosthetic was to give her that face that she had, I was like.
But she good for wearing a prosthetic. She did that in Bombshells.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or was it her? No. Charlize Theron wore the Or did she? I can't remember. Anyway, but she just did that show 9 Perfect Strangers on Netflix, and she's playing a Russian lady. So I mean, she accented, and I mean, she did a good job with that. I mean, Nicole Kidman is still Nicole the Kidman.
Period.
Like, she is still Nicole Kidman. Let's not forget.
Let's never forget. You're right. Well, let's get into this movie quote. I was kind of torn between something that I actually read. I watched it twice and I still didn't hear it. I don't know where the hell I was. Like, but I think that they both kind of, I feel like I didn't want to do one of them because we've already really talked about it a lot. But this one, now that I'm like reading it out loud, it kind of has the same feeling. Like, we've really talked about this, but it was from William Frawley. I mean, he said, the less you talk, the more things you hear. And I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And that was a constant theme throughout with Lucille, that she shut the hell up.
She was a woman on a mission.
She was a woman on a mission. And I think if she did a lot more of that, it wouldn't have taken her in that moment when she frizzes up the line and focuses in to realize the things that she had realized. And then my other one was Lucy, I'm Home, just to play into the whole idea of like, because how we had heard it before. We've heard this. I mean, we have heard this quote millions and millions of times. It's like classic TV quote. But the way it was said and what it meant in this movie was so much bigger than just the 3 words that it was. And
I love how they made it seem like they didn't know the line. Like, I can't remember what that man said. I don't know what he said.
Like, shut y'all ass up. Oh man, it was a cool one. It was a cool one. But yeah, so yeah, that was Being the Ricardos. Totally hit me by surprise. It is not the type of biopic or autobiographical type of, it's not they do not take the classic route with that shit. They don't give you no dates. They don't tell you what time it is. You never know what the timeline is.
Not at all. You just thrust it into the light.
Just thrown in
there and figure it out. Get in where you fit in.
All right. Any final thoughts, final words to say to the people about anything?
I would like to wish my co-host an early birthday.
Hey!
She celebrates her birthday on the 23rd
Sunday
of this month. she is one of them, them people.
One of them people is just like, yeah, my birthday was the other day. Or no, like
I'm
my
talking about
today.
Yeah, they're one of them Aquarius who act like they don't like nothing and don't get excited. And when you catch them excited, they be trying to look at you like you crazy.
You would never have all this Aquarius slander when you have an Aquarius brother.
Well, how you think I know, honey?
I know. I know.
And a stepdad whose birthday you
Lord. Dang, the whole crew.
And Corey's Aquarius as well.
I'm definitely one of them people is like, it's my birthday, and then somebody's like, I'll like mention it, and they're like, today's your birthday? And I'm like, sure, yeah.
But then be like, oh man, I'm so happy that all of y'all came to my birthday party. I love y'all so
much. Thank you, Erin. Thank you. Shut up. You ain't lying. That's why it's so funny. Damn near about to have tears. Like, I just didn't think y'all would do this. But I'm keeping it low. I'm chilling. I'm actually going to Florida next week. I am filming a documentary with the homie Bash Weiser about Zora Neale Hurston and this amazing Zora scholar named Ray Chesney. And so it's like my first documentary. I can't believe this is happening, and it's super exciting. So like I'm trying to keep it cool, and so I'm gonna just chill out and on my birthday have me a good meal. I'm definitely gonna have me a bottle of champagne, and I'm gonna kind of spend my birthday with myself. But I accept all birthday cash app and donations. You want to send me a gift, you sure can do that too. And of course, birthday wishes as well.
Give me a PO box, girl.
Right. Hey, the cash app is Latoya Coates. So I keep it simple around here. I keep it simple. So yes. Other than that, yeah, man, eat your fruits and veggies. Read your water. Drink your water. Read your 10 pages a day. Don't forget, In a Sentimental Mood is on Tubi, and follow us on our socials. And what else? Yeah, the cash app is Latoya Coates. Same. Just put the money sign in front, baby. That's all. Anything else you want to tell the people, Chevy?
You can follow me at wait.
You don't forget.
I feel like I got a cough and I'm trying to
suppress it.
Wait, give me a second.
You can't suppress no cough. You can suppress a sneeze, but a cough
like that boy and that meme. Okay, I'm ready. You can follow me.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to laugh at you.
Dang. I hate it when that happens.
It said it's happening.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter as the Superstar. That's pretty much all I can say. Sign us out.
Period. Oh my God. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we'll see y'all next week. Now it's still up on I'm not sure. Like I said, I'll be traveling. I think we will be able to go live, but just in case, watch Passing on Netflix, and we will be letting y'all know whether or not we'll be going live next Thursday. So yeah. That's good. Yeah, that's everything.
Okay, I think I got my life now.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I don't know if I can hold much longer. So y'all have a good night. Thank you, Zombie. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Lurkers. Thank y'all for coming.